Gasket. Let's get this thing started.
Shib and Gasket. Alright, we're in draft. Let's go. Double Gambit ban opening. Okay, so both teams are saying Gambit is stronger than whatchamacallit in this meta. That's really interesting. Personally, I mean, on the last weekend, I personally think that Elsa was a bit stronger. But I suppose maybe after the hotfix changes, that's changed a little bit. Especially with White Fox. With White Fox? I don't know. I feel like White Fox benefits the Elsa comps more than the Gambit comps, personally. Yeah, it'll just double Elsa save into Manta Span, into Tank Pool Ban. The line for this sort of draft is like relatively locked, I feel. Is this audio balancing good, by the way? I feel like it should be, right? Yeah, you don't want to give a damage amp to Elsa, and it's just double. Actually, all Daredevil ban coming out from Sen. Interesting. So normally this ban is just always Tank Pool, but this time Sentinels are going to say no Daredevil, which is really interesting. I mean, you are into 100 Thieves. I'm pretty sure we saw the word Daredevil a lot earlier. But really, I don't think you want to give TTK Tank Pool. Ultron save makes sense. Are we taking out the Tank Pool here, or are we taking out the Invis? It's always like Invis or Tank Pool final slot, even though a lot of the time we saw no, okay, no, Gambit's not up, sorry. We're not banning Gambit. Oops, Sen could always ban like an anti-dive pick here, like the Jeff. If they don't want to enable like Venom Jeff, no, here's where you ban the Tank Pool. You don't want to give them the option to save the Daredevil. Are we matching Ultron save, or are we saving Invis? Okay, Ultron save.
Yeah, I mean, in the
100 Thieves, what's your final ban slot? Daredevil here? Is it like true match? Or are we taking out a healer Invis here? Or something else? I mean, there's something else to really ban. Cap? Yeah, actually, yeah, Cap's a good shot. Your options there were like Cap, Invis, or even, what's another one? Oh, right, Fox or Luna Snow, but I don't think you're banning Fox or Luna Snow there. Actually, you might be. No, not into Sentinels, bro. Sentinels are going to play Invis. They might honestly play Loki Invis here. We saw it earlier last time they played Dom. Flamme and Jeff, actually? Okay, Venom Jeff with the scope, I don't mind it. Yeah, Jeff Venom is something that teams really don't like letting through for free, ever. Let's see. I mean, yeah, this is like one of the more cringe games to see. You're not ranked sub pool for me.
Kind of hover over different heroes. It's not going to be an exact mirror match. It's going to be two different styles. Remember I was saying, and we were talking about 100 Thieves, they kind of lack...
Yeah, I definitely, as much as I hate to say, I think I prefer 100 Thieves, like triple support playstyle over Sentinels, but let's see. Sentinels feel like an immovable wall, from what I've seen, like when I watch them play, but I'm not sure how that interacts with some of the stronger teams. I feel like they just like turtle, and then they just heal so much fucking health, as opposed to a lot of other triple sup teams that when Ultron's up, where they play like Ultron, fucking Fox, Luna Snow, and then they have their White Fox like posturing on flanks and diving with like a cap. I guess they don't want to have their White Fox diving without, I mean, obviously 100 Thieves are playing that exact variant, right, with the cap on side, TTK on his body, Emma. Sentinels on the other hand, yeah, what is this bullshit, man, running fucking Invis Loki with a Groot? Like, that's such a beefy team. They're just gonna try to fucking turtle and when I'm assuming off of ult rotations, like off of stronger sup ults and a more lethal tank ulti. Sentinels obviously rushing straight to point. They played that little wide side, the low guns into just point. 100 Thieves are now gonna need a retake. I mean, their comp is a little bit weaker here since Cap and Fox can't really flank to do their thing here. But they do have Emma into Groot, so as long as TTK doesn't go down, he gets the healing from his backline, he's going to start putting in a lot of pressure to that Groot. But, I mean, does pressure even matter? I mean, runes are forced, though, by a little bit of poke. That was good by Delana. And Delena's traded out, yeah. Yeah, they just really struggled to gain the space there. I really hope that 100 Thieves, though, don't swap this comp, or at least if they do swamp, they try it out on a different map, that they can make it work. I don't know how the Fox Cap plays out on this map, but I swear it's stronger. Although if Sentinels are just better in their neutral game, if Yusha's I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Yusha was a better bloody Elsa than Delana. Yusha's fucking insane on DPS. I can't lie. But, I mean, it's 100 Thieves, right? It's still enough. We'll just have to see who wins this series, right? Alright. Yeah, there's the Glortrox. Catches the Ray. The Ultranaut to match it out. Keep everybody alive. Followed up by Insta-Runes. Sentinels, on the other hand, really close. Okay, wait. Do they survive the Ultranaut? Oh my god, really nasty shots onto Mirror there. And then there goes Loki out. Yeah, this is the Elsa serve, Redman. Yeah, there we are. This is more what I expected. The issue here being that TTK is going to lose his Emma charge, right? Normally with like ramping characters, for example, Elsa, right? She needs to ramp her Primal Rage to turn her fucking dash from a like 8-second cooldown to a 2-second. It's stupid. And it goes away on death a little bit. But 100 Thieves, sorry, not 100 Thieves. Emma, even if you win the fight, she loses her charge, and yes, she has to spend so much time charging it back up, right? So, yeah, you can't be dying here, TTA. The Groot ult, there we are. Are we killing? Got to the Luna ulti, and it's Vinny who found for May. Yeah, nice little melee wave. So, Sentinels, that's their only sub ult. Yusha, your ult needs to get a huge amount of value here, but they have cap ult. If your team got ulted, they'd probably just, I mean, they could just cap ult to win the fight on the spot here. With no match ready for Sentinels. The Magrock, Winnie is just going to TP. Wait, nice dodge. His ult actually probably, yeah. The Magrock went into his ult health pool there, so he definitely needed to press Q, otherwise he was going to die. I feel like you need a cap ult soon, 100 Thieves. Yep, there we are. Cap ult, but the Loki was back in time. Oh, the Glortrox though. Why are you pulling back? What? Pull out to the side? I feel like you're always sending it off the edge there. I mean, I guess if you're worried about it getting burned. Interesting. So, no one dies there, either side. Groot nearly goes down, but the Mag Bubble, not Ultra, just the Loki free hitting from high ground, or the clones at the very least on high grounds keep him up. Amazing, you. Oh, the double ding from Delana. Yeah. I really do prefer 100 Thieves comp, I'm gonna be so honest. I mean, we're not even seeing Vinny and bloody Winnie flanking into this. We're just seeing Delana finding like more picks in neutral. I'm assuming because like obviously Luna Fox has more agency in the neutral play, right? Like Sentinels, they can live for a bit longer with Loki runes, right? But is that really better than like Luna claps and just the better neutral game on those like the high DPS output of those two characters? Obviously aggressive invisible boundary into Groot ult comes out from Sentinels, but Flame ended up getting traded. I mean, for Delana though, 100 Thieves are probably just going to wipe here. Realistically, like when you're playing a 2-1-3 comp, your one needs to be alive, and they need to be getting value. Except it's Emerald from the side, trying to get a bunch of space. Delana, I'm assuming, is pretty much back, and obviously, yeah, if someone gets taunted out, Luna is going to chain headshot the shit. Luna, Fate of Both Worlds to max out the Glortrox. Obviously, Delana's back by this point, and Winnie also popped his ult. The Glortrox angle goes hard here, though. Didn't throw it just then. Instead, the invisible boundary comes out again from Sentinels, the second one. Amazing. So both Ultrons are going to have ults here to play off of. It's Yusha. You can't be dying like that. And Amazing dies on his ult usage, even though they have TP. Yeah, it's over. That's first point for Sentinels. Sorry, not for Sentinels, for 100 Thieves. Sentinels got, like, they did pretty well on Point Pro, but I feel like as soon as 100 Thieves kind of found their groove there, it just wasn't really close again.
The fact 100 Thieves have got
so much pressure is put onto those
it really benefits them. They look so much more
those Elsa players, right? You can't get picked. You need to like realistically look at either the Ultron or like we saw Delana pick out a double jumping Invisible Woman a few times there.
They look far more comfortable.
You need to pick them, right? Interestingly enough, TTK with the ace over on 100 Thieves as opposed to the Elsa player. That's really interesting. I suppose they take the death number pretty seriously though. I mean, it makes sense. The Emma's getting a pretty high amount of value into the Sentinels comp, right? I wonder if 100 Thieves was scouting the fact that Sen liked this like beefier comp, especially with the Groot, and they've opted for a an Emma specifically. Who knows? Either way, 100 Thieves. Okay, we're just on Jeff Bubbles, yeah. Yeah, okay, so this is a bit of a nicer flank map if they do want to opt for it, but it's still nowhere near as good as that Dom map. The entire team for Sentinels looks like they're playing low ground bunker, like the backside. Very nice spot to play. Gives you a pretty easy access to point without just getting run over. The disadvantage here obviously being there's no high grounds, like your hit scan are going to suffer a tad bit. Let's see. Amazing, pushing out the cap best you can on the flank. But Vinny's just gonna not really give a fuck. Yes, this is a cap ult up, so they can play for a super heavy dive to try to force out Mirror's ult if they want. Instead, it's the Glortrox first does grab Invisible Woman, enters Dongmin, who also ends up falling on the front due to one lack of healer. Invisible Boundary onto point from Mirror, but 100 Thieves delaying the match for as long as possible. The Emerald is actually the first thing that's used. Taunting out, and okay, the cap ult, I mean, you're fine, right? There's no way Grid ult kills through cap ult. Yeah, I mean, I just like 100 Thieves comp more. I mean, it's been stronger in all of the series I've seen. There's no reason for Sentinels to play this comp. I feel like the only reason they've been doing well has been they've been facing weaker teams, potentially. I mean, Blackwest. Yeah, I mean, realistically, though, right? Like, I count Blackwest as, like, one of those weaker teams at this rate.
You're just going to have potentially the Gartrox coming up shortly. 96% obviously is going to be a big focus for them.
Yeah, this is a really important series for both of these teams. I wonder if Sentinels are going to keep, like, forcing this. And remember, Sentinels are running Mirror instead of Kurova here. So Kurova again being put on the bench once again. Again, Sentinels use this roster to beat FlyQuest pretty bloody convincingly with the aggressive Invisible Woman on Mirror. So not Flamay, Mirror is the sub player. Cap in the back line. Flamay is just dead before he can get to the health pack, and now Vinny's just going to be in there on the other two. The Ultra ult is decent, but is it enough? Usually your Glortrox needs to get value here, but it didn't. The Fox ult into the Glortrox catches 3. And then, oh, the 3K. A single elephant gun for Delana, killing all 3 members of Sentinels at the same time. Yeah, I feel like you'd almost rather play into Gambit, no? Although Gambit makes the draft really weird. Like, you're giving over a lot of OP characters just to remove the combo pieces of Tank Pool, Rogue, Star-Lord, Loki. Pre-copy on Invis. We're going to force out Fate of... I mean, oh, the TTK down for 100 Thieves, actually. The Groot Wall's doing their job. Are we going to use Fate of both worlds on point? They already used copy. We can just die. Don't match. Don't match, just die, yeah. Sentinels, that's a lot of ultimates you're using for a fight that 100 Thieves said, okay, let's lose. We got it to 99 anyway. Why are we going to dance if we're already down numbers? Yeah. Alright, Sentinels, let's see. You've got the Groot ult up. This needs to get value. I mean, maybe that's why they don't want Groot or Gambit in the game. They want the Groot to get value, potentially. Not sure. At the very least, Sentinels do have Mirror's ult so they can match Fate of both worlds. It's not like 100 Thieves are just going to start dancing on them and instantly win. It's just if they trade out their sub ults for Sentinels, then we're going to have a cap ult for just an instant win, bro. Amazing. Oh. If Elsa was a... I mean, I feel like we could nerf Elsa at that kind of range, no? That kind of distance. I wonder how much of that damage, though, with supports. Alright, the Emerald forces them all the way back. Taunts out Amazing. Grabbed. Comboed with the Diamond Falling. This is TTK's Emma we're talking about. You do not mess around. However, Delana falls on the backside. Somehow, some way, the supports weren't paying enough attention to him. So now it's Sentinels who get advantage. They drop the Invisible Boundary a little bit later than that Fate of both worlds and end up just walking them down. Again, the DPS, the solo DPS player, is the most important crutch of your team in the 2-1-3. Delana dying there is the entire reason, really, why Sentinels managed to take that fight. That was an insane pick by TTK, and I'm surprised he ended up going down. 100 Thieves are a little bit stressed now. Obviously, they can cap ult in with Ultron and then play the instant, like, do we win this fight? But Amazing has his ult ready to go. Yusha has his ult ready to go. And if the fight stalls out even a little bit too long, Dogman has his mag ult for the Ultron ulti. Okay, so here's the aggressive Ultron ult. Both sides, honestly, defensive and offensive. Just trying to make sure no one falls. A bit close. But now, again, your ult is going to charge in time if you wait too long. 100 Thieves. Here's the aggressive cap ult. Comes out. Forces Sentinels all the way back into this bunker. Yusha with that Apex Predator at the ready. Instead, however, it's Delana picking out Dongmin. Numbers advantage over to Sen. The runes are also forced out. However, again, Sentinels do still have that Apex Predator. Do we grab anyone? TTK gets grabbed. Does he end up falling? Diamond Fawn is up and ready. The Kumio Unleashed is enough to keep him alive. Crimzo goes down as well. Oh, it's going to be too much. I think yes, and you lose here, I think. The teleport is coming from them at the very least, so if they can stall out with Mirror's Invisible Boundary, Flame's going to respawn and get onto point in time with his copy. Raimazy does end up going down right as the invisible boundary falls. Delana free hitting onto everybody. Yeah, it's too hard for Sentinels. That is game 1, going over to 100 Thieves in a relatively dominant fashion. Still a bit closer than, say, the FlyQuest series. But yeah, I don't favor Sentinel's comp, even in the slightest. You're playing just a weaker version, I feel. Especially with those White Fox buffs coming into play. Yeah, TTK is insane on that character. I do feel like his only real big play... Oh, actually, no, there's ults where like insane as well. There's ultimate... Oh, God, yeah. Honestly, it's crazy to think that an Emma got more value out of her ult than Group, but that's kind of what happened here. I feel like every time Crimzo wanted to ult, it was either a fight that 100 Thieves didn't care about, like they were like, okay, we can wipe you, that's fine. Or they had a cap ult at the ready, and Crimzo just couldn't find any picks off it, right? His wall still got some value, right? Although the reason they got some picks, but Emma's Emma really resulted in way more for 100 Thieves. Yeah, wow, that's insane. Alright, well, we've probably like a 5-ish minute delay before our second series starts. Hopefully I get my VOD up and ready soon, though. I'm hoping. I'm a little bit surprised I can't filter my little bracket here by day. I have to, like, scroll down every single time. It doesn't default me to here. Definitely some improvements that can be made towards that website, but that's fine. Alright, I'm gonna bring the main broadcast over the second monitor. Obviously there's no interviews, we're just waiting on second game start. So we can replay some of these fights actually, because I'm curious to see how they go. Well, how they went. So how did Vinny and Winnie play, or specifically Winnie play versus... So I'm losing your right click, there was a bit... How did you guys play? Are we just playing front to back? So he's shooting the enemy team, he's taunting out the enemy team. He's rotating onto this wide angle, trying to take as much space as he can. Which, honestly, him being here is the only reason TTK isn't getting cooked. And a lot of his shots are going onto DPS. So he's playing, yeah, more of this off-angle Fox. And, again, Runes, the triple chum, it's just Delana who oversteps fully. That's the only reason this is bad. Delana, you're dashing and trying to get that little CC effect and a good invis pull into... I mean, obviously he was drones the entire time. That was never not going to be the case. Luna claps wrong cooldown, though, and... No clap. Oh, okay. I mean, the first clap just wasn't prioritized onto Delana. I guess Melina just didn't realize he needed to be clapping in there. And he died before second clap came out. Yeah, I mean, that's just a full overstep by Delana, right? You already got runes. You already got the space that you worked so hard to create into Groot. You were ready to play it with Luna Snow claps, or Luna Snow claps, but just an overstep. That's fine. I mean, obviously it didn't change anything in the long run, even after they lost that first, off that first cap. Let's see, what's Cap up to here? So Cap's obviously just like off-angling with his snowflake, right? Walking around finding out. Most of the White Fox damage goes into the enemy team, and let's see how the Glortrox is actually used, right? So it's dash in. He just happens to throw it at the same time as the Ultron. Honestly, lucky that he managed to stay alive. Ultron prioritized healing instead of finishing that kill onto Delana, and with Stealth throwing his Ultron out late, it's enough to just fully zone off Sand. This shot by Delana, though, is fucking gross. Like, actually filthy as hell. Mira's obviously, like, caught lacking there with his positioning. In fact, how was he caught there? I'm a little bit curious about that, Mira. What's going on? Yeah, you're running into this side angle, waiting for your double jump. As soon as it's up, you try to get your team out, or have your team escort you out. But it was never going to be enough, I think, there. Ultranaut as an offensive tempo tool is just too strong. I feel like Sentinels, yeah, you probably could have dropped your sub-ults there, but you would have been down on the tempo side of things with 100 Thieves having 3, and you only have the Loki invis ults to work with. Your advantage there is you get to play offensive with Crimzo Yusha ults, and 100 Thieves are forced to basically navigate the fight with those being ready for you the entire time. How does Winnie opt here? Because again, it's a lot nicer if you can flank on the Fox and throw those right clicks onto the enemy team. But I mean, again, if Cap's killing like this, and you're just up numbers for free, it's always going to be really awkward. The Wartrock's just completely whiffed by Yusha here. I'm honestly surprised that they didn't cap ult sooner, but I suppose they were just that confident. Yeah, the mag right clip really got onto Winnie there, basically using his ults just to stay alive. Yeah, instead we just matched the enemy team with the cap ult because we had to use Winnie's ult like that. Yeah, I feel like you could have sent it off, maybe, no? Or with the extermination coming out. He played really early just to dash over to the side there. I feel like if you're pulling it all the way this way, it's going to get burnt just as quickly. You might as well play to pull them off the map, but that's just me at the very least, my opinion. Ultron, yeah, this is just the Tempo Ultron ult, right? If you're using your Ultron ult to defend an Ulcer ulti, and we're using yours to attack your supports, but your Ulcer ult isn't getting more value than our Ulcer ult, even though ours is being countered by another ultimate, we're always going to come out on top, right, as 100 thieves. Yeah, Winnie's doing a pretty good job on the off angles here with the Fox, I can't lie. Just perma, I mean, obviously keeping his team alive, but shooting out, just expanding damage into the enemy team when it's needed. This was the Groot ulti, right? And somehow only Dylan ended up falling in that 1-for-1 trade. Impressively enough, but yeah, I mean, obviously once Dylan is done. By the way, first map for our next series is going to be Heart of Heaven. We haven't seen this map a whole lot, actually. I should show you several ults. TTK, what's your angle? You're flanking, you shield up, and you're just like, alright, here is my angle. The Groot was really good. It stopped 2 from getting taunted. But the instant front to back, as soon as the taunt goes out, you go into diamonds. And then you start bullying Crimzo, who's on point as the only tank, forces out runes. The Lunar Snow ult is more than enough to deny Glortrock's value. And Winnie actually, is this intentional? Is this a combo they're opting to do? Or did they just happen to do it? So he used it reactively to make sure he doesn't get one shot, and then they're like, okay, we have both, let's hold damage. And then anybody who stepped into the range of that White Fox is getting cooked a little bit. Mira honestly could have died there before that invisible boundary came out. Before he got to it, sorry, but that was enough in the end. And then it's Yushu, just ended up falling. Where did Yushu go down?
And as you say, might have just been in terms of selection.
He was inside his Invis ult. The teleport opens, cutting off the enemy backline. The Invis ult is about to fade. He dashed in. He got walled by Emma and just imploded. How much of that damage was TTK's? Majority looks to have been the supports behind him. Who was hitting? There's no way that was all Winnie's damage, right? That had to have just been a split, like, mainly Dylan's, right? Yeah. It was just like a split of the entirety of 100 Thieves looking at Yusha at the same time. And then obviously they come out on top with Tempo, since Delana picked out Rymazing immediately after that. Second point was like a bit of a roll, I can't lie.
Emma does a great job marking those heroes. They can get a ton of charge off, land a tackle,
100 Thieves is really good here. Like that wide side, I wonder if that was intentional, not trying to shoot the walls, instead just trying to play so they walls can hit him. Obviously once they're up numbers here, they've got a huge advantage. The Diamond's form being used to play his life and zone off the enemy Groot. Instant Emerald as soon as it comes up because it charges so quickly. Not holding it for the perfect moment. Didn't even get a proper taunt off. But, I mean, that's enough, right? Yeah, you just kind of run down the enemy team after that, after they lose both their tanks. This is when Emma nearly went down, used the diamond form to live, but lost a good amount of space on point. I'm surprised they got touched here, actually. It was Delano who saved it a little bit. Oh, this was the Cap pick, that's right. Comboed out with the Ultron volley. Like, one volley was all he needed for Cap to finish that kill. Giving them, like, a really big advantage there. Wait, casters think it's going to be a 2-0? Okay. I mean, I think Sentinels have got to adapt or lose, right? Because it's like ults like this, right? Pulling 3 people off the map. I mean, Yusha, bro, you gotta step up your game. You looked really good on the Elsa before. I'm assuming we're going to draft now. And this is the first show watching the second half, right? I mean, even though it wasn't that one-sided.
Alright, let's get into it again.
Sen, who have you versed so far before I bring up the draft?
That's just the caster in me. I do think this is a
SG, which obviously was their hardest game so far, SG undefeated. And then they versed FlyQuest and Cafe Rose, who are a bit on the weaker side. Cafe Rose obviously not that weak, since they've been doing way better than most people predicted. But comparatively to a team like 100 Thieves, you're gonna get punished if you're lacking in your draft. Okay, so both teams with a double Gambit bin, they don't want to let that through, even a little bit, right? So they're sticking to their guns on that side. I'm assuming our 1, 2, 3 then will stay identical. The only changes we'll see here is the final save and the final ban, right? Our 5, 6 of the draft.
Slide because at the moment it's just going
to right now it's just Mantis, and then we save Elsa, and then we ban Tank Pool, and if you don't ban Tank Pool here, I'm a little bit worried for you.
Then ban Mantis, and then we start to go into things like Daredevil.
Was it this game where we banned the Daredevil? I really don't think we should be banning Daredevil here, 100 Thieves, but in the end, it like actually didn't change anything. I don't know. I feel like Daredevil ban. I mean, on this map though, I could see Daredevil ban actually. Like, last map I didn't like it as much, even though like it resulted in the exact same thing. Yeah, Sentinels sticking to their guns. I guess they think 100 Thieves will save Daredevil if they can. We don't want to give over the 2 strongest DPS in the patch, so we're going to force them into a triple support comp. Okay. I mean, I think specifically into 100 Thieves, I think it's fine. Like, you are reacting, like, forcing them to either pick between Tank Pool and Ultron. And here they're just choosing Ultron, which makes a lot of sense.
Very impactful for them. It might be the hero that just makes that difference.
Sentinels, what's our go here? Obviously, our ban has to be Tank Pool, right? Are we considering not Tank Pool ban?
The real question
Cap? Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah, they get rid of Vampel.
Makes sense. I mean, Cap was instrumental in their success last game, but at the same time, I wouldn't give over Tank Pool ever to TTK here. You don't want to see what happens when they have TTK on bloody Tank Pool as well as the Elsa as well as the Ultron. They'll just be unkillable and do too much. Final ban is Invis from 100 Thieves side. Interesting. The final ban last game, what was it again?
There's a lot, we see a change here. Ban out of Invis.
It was, I thought it was a dive. No, it wasn't Venom, was it?
I don't know that I would have kept it the exact same, but then again, like we're saying, it's Convergence now. It's not Dom.
It might have been Venom, actually. Yeah, it was definitely Venom. Yeah. So Sentinels have the option of playing Venom Jeff. No, okay. Well, yeah. So we've adapted to the meta. We're not playing Invis Loki. What the fuck? I mean, obviously Invis is banned, so maybe they're not prioritizing this comp. Actually, no, it was a Cap ban last game, wasn't it? I feel like it was Cap ban. Yeah, they took away Cap. So Sentinels now able to run the Captain America. I wonder if that's why they weren't playing Fox Snow before. It's because they didn't have the Cap ult to rely on. So they were forced to play a more offensive-orientated comp. That would make a lot of sense. But at the same time, I'm a little bit surprised that 100 Thieves are opting to shift away from their Cap ban onto an Invis ban. Again, as the casters say, it might be because they're on Domination now. Sorry, not Domination. They're on Convergence, so they're not on Dom anymore. So they're prioritizing a comp that'd be able to win off of ult rotations a bit more as opposed to the neutral stronger comp. Perhaps. Okay. Angela obviously being the priority on this map a little bit more now for teams due to just purely that high ground, really. That high ground being like absolutely instrumental in control of this first point, and Angela being really dominant in getting that. However, I have a feeling, like from the looks of this, is no Sentinels will playing high grounds flank, right? We're just playing main with Cap on flank. Mira, are you going to off angle here, or are we playing main? Obviously, main's a little bit nicer, but if you can LOS the enemy backline from main, that's totally fine as well. Crimzo got the snowflakes, so he's not too worried about his health bar. Dogman already contesting point. Here's the Lunar Snow claps keeping. They're missing. Oh my god, Yusha. I don't know how many of those claps were misses and how many. Okay, they tried that on Melania though. Is that enough? I mean, obviously Sentinels losing Yusha there is a huge blow, but 100 Thieves being down, one of their main supports is an even bigger deal, I'd almost say. Almost. It's not quite. Delana, yeah, it's like, can Delana put out enough pressure onto Sentinel's backline while no one's there to stop him, as opposed to 100 Thieves? Can we keep Delana up when there's no one here really zoning him off? Yeah, I feel like Flume missed some claps there, no? Like, some of those Lunar Snow claps were just, either going wide or they were getting completely LOS'd out. Okay, so here's the aggressive Ultranaut coming up from our offensive side and defensive side. The Mag ult, Rock does find self, Dongmin, insane Meteor. Yeah, I feel like we didn't see a lot of Dongmin last game, even though he is one of the best Magnetos, I feel like, of this tournament. One of the best tank players, in my opinion. The Fox nearly keeping melee enough. No, the melee wave is just enough to find the kill. Yeah. Yeah, Dongmin's bloody insane, I can't lie. Like, his strange ults, like, from previous seasons were the best of the best. Like, top one, I feel. And now, like, his Magneto gameplay in this tournament has been really, really dominant, honestly. It's an outlier in the last game that we didn't see the kill cam flicking over to him off cooldown. And, I mean, his MR, like, I'd compare it to TTK, really. Like,
maybe get saved, but Delena again is applying
let's
the
see.
pressure on LC.
Alright, so the cap ult is ready here, but instead it's going to be the fate of both worlds being art, and its mirror ends for amazing. So Sentinel's in a 4v6, I'm fairly certain here. Right as the fate of both worlds ends, the cap ult is here to help them run them down. The Lunar shot's looking really good from Lay there. Making Korova proud. Korova definitely has some clips under his belt on the dive Lunar Snow, or flank Lunar Snow. Obviously, 100 Thieves, no more portal. They're trying to stall it out, but with Melania revealing themselves in the off angle there, it's just cap. I mean, they stalled it out pretty well, right? Actually, what was the timer? Let me go back in time. Minute 22. I mean, that's not bad by any stretch of the imagination, right? A minute 22 left on the clock for a convergence hold. It's just unfortunate that you didn't full hold them there. Obviously, that's the best case scenario. Both teams contesting this high ground position, not wanting to allow the enemy to jump you on the high ground as soon as you have to walk through that low ground. However, 100 Thieves getting the priority, Sentinels are going to be forced to back off and... yeah, get both teams jump low ground as soon as they can contest cart. Ults, Apex Predator up for both teams pretty much. Aggressive Magneto Rock coming out from Dongmin. It's up already. Wow, found two! Weenie and Daniel are caught lacking, stacked on top of each other. No shields on that White Fox, ready to block the Meteor M. Oh my god, Dongmin. Oops, I'm being a little bit loud at 8 AM in the morning, but they had it coming. I'd be streaming at this time regardless. We're already an hour in to the live stream, pretty much. And 100 Thieves now putting Vinny onto the Groot, instead dropping the Angela, getting TTK back onto that Emma. Let's see, the Extermination. The Ultra ulti came out to match out Yusha's Apex Predator. A little bit necessary. The Groot ulti did catch for amazing. Is he going to fall, though? It looks like they're doing a pretty good job at keeping him alive. Double sub ults coming out from 100 Thieves, so the Invisible Boundary and the Kumiho Unleashed. Is that enough? I mean, for my Sentinels, yeah, you have your Fate of Both Worlds. The Emeralds, though, really good. It's going to do a really good job at denying their tempo here. Yeah, you wasted like a solid 6 seconds of Sentinels just walking at you and then being taunted.
Just kind of counter-ulting.
TTK gonna do a really good job at zoning off. Crim's on the Groot now. Okay. What was he playing earlier? The cap. Okay. Maybe it's a little bit of a hard dive map. Maybe he saw the enemy team's comp and he's just opting to run the Groot Emma. I wonder if we'll see Dongmin swap over to the the Emma here, but it doesn't matter. Crimzo finding those walls onto Vinny. Crimzo's insane on the Groot here, right? Like, when I didn't like Crimzo's Groot last game, that does not mean he's not insane on the character. If anyone's gonna make it work, it is him. Here's TTK on point though, finds Yusha before he can get the Apex Predator off. That's a really important kill. That's honestly fight winning for 100 Thieves. And Ultranaut comes out on the backside to keep everyone up. TTK did go down to Mirror there, but with a TP coming out from Vinny on that Groot swapping over to Strange. Sentinels, they're gonna have to wait. I mean, Yusha's back, so they can continue playing the fight. They didn't really lose that much tempo. And right, are we gonna see an ulti here? Immediate M from Dongmin. He's waiting out the boundary, comboed with the Groot ult. Oh, here we go. Nope, it's blocked by Strange Shield, thankfully. But instead, it's Weenie actually manages to kill through, beating down onto that point. He killed 3 people on Sentinels there while they're trying to finish through the grid ulti. Wow. They're charging those White Fox ults really quickly. I feel like if we're going to nerf this character for pro play specifically, you're touching her ultimate, maybe. Her ult charge rate? I don't know. I feel like if you want to touch her ult charge rate, you could easily affect how fast she gets it off damage as opposed to healing. Because, okay, I mean, Goldtruck's matched up by faded both worlds, but it's Delano who goes down on the side of 100 Thieves. Yeah, Sentinels, they have a huge advantage here, that Ultron ult that they managed to keep up. Strange ult, doesn't look like it found anybody. The Lunar Snow Claps then are going to provide a huge advantage over the Sentinels when it comes to capping this point. No teleport up for 100 Thieves. However, if they can stall a little bit longer, they'll have respawns. No, it's just point. Okay, what was I saying before? It was, fork. I sidetracked myself. It was comps, was it? Yeah, it was White Fox nerfs. Right. White Fox, if they nerf her damage rate, because like all of these pro players, most of their White Fox damage is being thrown at the enemy, but like very little of it is actually being used for healing relative to how often they're shooting. These like the low elo players, right? The people who will suffer the most from an ult economy nerf in the sense that they're going to complain that they don't have their ults up as much, not so much that they're in a weaker spot. It probably won't affect the win rate all too much. Really nice Ultron comes out from 100 Thieves there to retake onto Send. Groot was also comboed out. So I'm just gonna reset, yeah. If you just only touch how fast you get your ult from hitting the enemy team, especially like an AoE right click potentially, I feel like that's where most of the value on the professional, well, that's how most of the professional players are charging their ultimates, right? So that'd be a nice little weighted nerf so you don't hit casual play too hard. Assuming you don't want to hit casual play too hard, maybe White Fox is OP there. 100 Thieves swapping Whiny over to the Loki again, not opting to run the White Fox that I really did think was strong. Aggressive invisible boundary came down from 100 Thieves. Yusha, sorry, Sentinels on the other hand, gonna drop out, yeah, the Apex Predator, as well as the Camille Unleashed. Grabbed 2 players out of the invisible boundary as well. Also, meanwhile, Mira just managed to keep up everybody on points. And he's already at, yeah, 15% for the next ultimates, just after winning the fight. 100 Thieves gonna fully wipe there, however, they did manage to stall out till overtime in that first little section of this third point. So they should just be able to get a pretty clean retake here. Actually, no. The Ultron ult is close. Oh, dog. The Ultron ult is close, but Dongmin does have a mag ult at the ready. Sentinels, they can easily combo mag Groot ultimates. Comboed out with damage amp. Okay, so it's Dogman who aggressively Groot ult, trying to take as much space, force out the runes. If the enemy team clump even a little bit too much, they're gonna get Groot ulted. The Ultron ult comes out trying to keep everybody alive against the Emeralds that'll be zoning them off. Instead, Winnie drops very, very low. Okay, the invisible boundary is forced out by the Ultron ulti. Groot tries to grab her out, but ends up missing its mark. Instead, it is the 100 Thieves solo ulting Yusha into the middle. Does end up finding 3 off the back of that. And that should be a 1 fight for Sentinels. No teleport. Sorry, 1 fight for 100 Thieves. No teleport's going to come up in time for Sentinels. A respectable push overall, considering how annoying it is to push on this map at the highest level. But it's also not the most insane.
But 100 Thieves had a plan.
Yeah, it's definitely not the most insane push of all time. I think you can definitely get it a little bit further into that room a bit more comfortably.
And they kind of worked out the game plan from Sentinels. They noticed that Meteor M was a real problem, and I think
to be fair, yeah, I mean that's why Sentinels won those fights, right? It was Dongmin finding the Magneto ults both onto Ultron at the start of the game, countering his what even is Ultron on them? Countering his ulti, as well as the aggressive ult in to find 2. Potentially might become a bit of a problem for Dongmin there if he keeps going for those ego, like, I'm gonna kill you ults, trying to zone a feels on the tanks, and if he doesn't land the mark. Because obviously you're not always gonna be able to hit it, right? You're relying on more of a misplay on the enemy team than you are a outplay on your own, I feel, most of the time. Alright, Ultron, what's your ability name? Rage of Ultron! Since we're saying Ultron so much more in pro play, I should probably have that ability name at the ready, shouldn't I? Alright, oh, I want to see who has Ace for Sen actually. Is it Dogman? Yeah, okay, Ace going over to the tanks actually, not to the Severin and Elsa's. Obviously TTK putting up too high numbers on the Emma, sorry. And Dogman with those multiple Meteor M's was always going to have Ace here.
To be able to push that convoy as far as possible here, so I want to see if the initial fight go in their favor and then see them continue their domination.
I'm too tired for that. Alright, let's see. Sentinels postured up on the high ground. No Angela being run by either side. Instead, Crimson hopping onto that Venom, not playing cap dive here. He's actually postured up in the waterfall. TTK aren't gonna know, sorry, TTK, 100 Thieves aren't gonna know about that Venom until they can hold tab and see what he's up to. Self dropping, sorry, was it Self? Yeah, Self dropping really, really low there. Yusha and putting lots of work onto the high ground on this bitch, this Elsa. However, 100 Thieves got pretty early point control there. Not finding any picks just yet, but the Emma in that little small room. Crimzo actually dying on the backside. That's the reason there was no damage on the front line there. Everyone was turning off the Venom. Both tanks for Sentinel spawn. Crimzo's not going to be on Strange to teleport. He's on Groot now. They're just giving first point. Wow. In a matter of seconds, 100 Thieves managed to capture first point. Emma forcing the entirety of Sentinels back into that room. Weenie actually onto the sub pull there. Interestingly enough, I don't think he even needed to use his sub pull ult though for that fight win. Yeah. Maybe he did. I'll check VOD there. I want to see how he played it. Because he is back onto that Loki already. He's obviously not playing for a scaling game like we've seen from some other teams. Especially, or namely, the, oh fuck, what are they called? Okay, either way, the Delana dashes in with an Apex Predator. Doesn't find its mark. Chunks out. Dogman on the front though. Doesn't end up finding the kill. The Groot Walls did not stay up long enough to zone off the healing from finding its mark. It is, yeah, we lose, sorry. Yeah, that is the dive comp. Delana pushing out Mirror on the flank. Yeah, you can't really be caught by yourself on the flank as White Fox. If you've got a dive tank like Cap with you, you've obviously got no problems, because good luck pushing both of them. But, oh, the walls come out, and that's Sentinels. They're going to stagger here. The Emerald, how many end up getting told? No, we're at Luna Snow ulting. Sentinels invest ults in the 4 versus 6 fight, trying to keep everybody alive, trying to take this fight onto point, not wanting to stagger in a bad way. TTK dropping, oh my god, those Emma combos, absolutely filthy. The Groot on the side of Sentinels falling extremely quickly, and even though the Meteor M was used, it found Delana actually, one of the more important kills to get. However, I don't think you've got enough players alive to keep you up. Yeah, the Groot Walls, they denied what little healing you needed. That invisible boundary, yeah, it was copied out. That's the saving grace actually for Sentinels, that invisible boundary was copied out by Winnie. He's swapping heroes here. What's he going to get onto? A better neutral character? Subpull. Are we rotating between Subpull ult into team ulti? Because he isn't going to farm his ult in time. He wants to play an ult for this next fight, so he's onto Subpull. That's a really interesting play. Really interesting usage of support pool here. I wonder how many upgrades he has though, because upgrades are so important for that character. Right, amazing, coming out with a Rage of Ultron, zoning 100 Thieves all the way back. TTK using that Emma to kite out. Even though the Groot ult was dropped by Sentinels, it looks like nobody falls as a result. Instead, it's Crimzo who got grabbed by Emma, zoned off by the enemy team's Groot Walls. And, oh, the Emma ult taunted everyone, it's too much. 100 Thieves, this is really dominant, yeah. In the first series, I definitely would attribute it to draft, more so than anything. To comps, not so much draft, just the comps that both teams were running. But right here, I feel like we've got a little bit of a match out, but Winnie is swapping consistently between Loki and Subpull, making usage, I mean, are you playing Loki while your Subpull ult is recharging, and then you're playing Subpull while you don't have the Loki ult? That's really interesting. Sentinels, yeah, I mean, Amazing on the Iron Man now, getting off of the Ultron. I mean, they obviously know they have to hold it for 4 minutes. They need something to happen. Amazing is like, guys, do you trust me? Pushing him pretty aggressively with the Kumiho on the leash, out from Mirror. Winnie matching it out, though, with a Subpull ult out of his own. Winnie, I don't think his Groot ult really found its mark, maybe grabbing a tank or two, but won't result in any kills. The Apex Predator came out from Yusha, was walled off by Vinny. 2 picks end up going out over to 100 Thieves before the fate of both worlds. Amazing. I mean, could you get an Iron Man ult out here into these plays? I don't think you can. Here comes the Emerald. Here comes the Emerald. Ends the Apex Predator. Ends up finding both supports. Everybody left alive for Sentinels. We're gonna need a teleport, but they didn't swap. It's over here. They won't be able to touch in time. Telena also found Yusha. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it was definitely a an Elsa diff, especially that second series. I think first series, I think Yusha definitely didn't get enough value. Sorry, first game. Second game of the series, though, it was definitely much more of a team gap overall. I feel like TTK got way too much value on the Ember Frost. Not something you can really afford to ban in this current meta as well, especially since you just end up giving him tank pool, an even stronger character. But like was hit on MVP of the game there, the support. Winnie, who was swapping between Subpool and Loki to help give his team tempo. I feel like that's the reason why that push was so one-sided, right? Potentially. Wow. Alrighty, well that is our first game, a 2-0 win, going over to 100 Thieves in the best of 3 versus Sentinels. The rest of the games, obviously, for today being TSM versus Yeah We Lose, which will be a really interesting game, actually. Both of these teams should be on a much more similar level, I would say. Yeah We Lose coming out from MRC. They are a resident dive team, whereas, actually, pre-rolls are on. I'll roll them in a few seconds, whereas we have TSM, our... again, one of the partnered teams, but they're on the weaker side compared to the rest of the partnered teams. So it'll be interesting to see who comes out on top here. NRG versus Cafe Rose, again, will be a much more even game as opposed to the teams or the games involving Swamp Gaming. We've got Team Liquid with Polly and Spark Chip going up against NTMR, Mace's team, which also should be pretty fun. And finally, FlyQuest versus Swamp Gaming. This is do or die for FlyQuest. They win here, or they probably don't make it out of group stage. Alrighty. Well, that's me running, I say, 1 minute ads for now, while we wait for interviews. Then I'll run it a little bit more later, just to erase pre-rolls, basically.
A bit of a mirror match in terms of compositions.
07, any chatters who want to rewatch a little bit of that series, because I'm going to bring up the VOD while I wait for them to wait for our interview between the casters and 100 Thieves. I wonder if it'll be with TTK, seeing as to how well he performed in this series. Although I don't think they really did, they go based off that, right? From memory. They do interviews with a predetermined player. Actually, do they? I'm actually not sure. Alright, I want to watch 100 Thieves offense first. I think that's way more interesting. Way more interesting.
I don't know, I think we just needed to see something else. I think 100 Thieves didn't need to change a thing. They looked so dominant on Dom, and a lot of those team fights were
they were way too strong. I mean, there were a little bit of changes. There were a lot of changes between that first series and the second, or the first game and the second game. Definitely can't compare them too much. Alright. So 100 Thieves, we're opening with Winnie, okay? Oh, okay, so they're cheese double jumping for his ult up, so that's the first step. So we have the ulti, okay? An unupgraded ulti, mind you, okay? He pops his right click and his E to keep himself alive. Are we gonna wait? I think we're waiting for first upgrade, right? We wait for... No, we pop sword ulti. We play double jump to upgrade it a little bit. We go for an AoE right click. It only gives us 3 charges. We play for double jump. We sword 1, we sword 2. We get the double jump, ult upgrade, finish onto Crimzo. But even with this, I feel like Sentinels shouldn't be struggling this much to keep them alive, right? The supple ult in of itself is only about the same healing over time as his E, and the range isn't that big. His E was already on cooldown. His right click was only just coming up. Sentinels instead opt to give all of their space. Where were we playing? Yusha's playing high ground. Dongmin gave space main. Flame was playing high ground, but opted dropping to drop to low grounds. Bira was playing a little bit of an off angle. So was Crimzo. And then Rymazing was playing high. Sen pushed Rymazing and Yusha back a little bit. So they're playing on a little bit of a split angle. Luna was doing her best to keep everybody up main, and Mira TP'd in to save Mag, but at the same time, Crimzo on his dive, what happens? I know obviously you were in there and you opted for something. Your E? We're dying with... What, was he charmed at the very end there? You need to be Eing. Charm goes through... No? They weren't even playing it. Yeah, they see. Crimzo just died without pressing E. Okay, I guess he took a lot more damage than what he thought he would, and then Vinny managed to shield off a whole lot of heals from Dongmin while Dongmin was trying to touch. No, he didn't even... What? Where was Flamme shooting? He was shooting the enemy, he reloads, and then Dongmin's dead. Wait, Miro, are you doing the same thing? Melee form, dash out, reload, shooting the enemy, and then Dongmin's dead. Guys. We have drone on. I mean, you had drone. Okay, so right, Mason, you couldn't do anything different. You had drone on the entire time. Like, I mean, that's fine. You get the pass. But yeah, no self bubble for one. It's up, and he just got imploded. I mean, that was a lot of damage coming out from Delana. I mean, just as an open play though, that play from Winnie to play for an early cheese supple to help force Sentinels back into that room. I do, however, think Sentinels. I mean, was it simply a bad matchup into what 100 Thieves were running that resulted in them deciding to not play? What's the word? Give all that space? Because really, Sentinel's comp doesn't want to play like that, right? You want people to support Venom on his dive. You want to apply pressure to 100 Thieves backline. You want to hold a little bit of space as a result of that. Buy space for you should have play. Obviously, we're back on Loki now. So it'll be pretty typical Loki gameplay coming out from 100 Thieves until we're back on the sub pool again for the third point. Actually, for the end of the second point. Really nice walls blocking out Yusha's wall traps here. That happened multiple times, actually. I wonder if this is the counter that teams, the value that teams see in Groot, right? It's your ability to wall off the Apex Predator and basically deny all of its value if those walls are good. Let's see. Mago coming out from Dogman. Yeah, this is one where he managed to find. This is a clean Mago, so I can't lie. He definitely got value out of them, like. Yeah, really clean angle there. Ready to finish the kill with his neutral game after, but yeah, his team was already dead by this point, right? Those Groot walls, they weren't getting broken fast enough because I'm fairly certain Yusha was dead. Wait, was that? Oh, I don't think that copy was needed, bro. Or honestly, no, he needed to copy there if he was gonna live, and he needed to ulti if he was gonna survive as well. Yeah. Yeah, that, I mean, Yusha was definitely finding value with the poke on the backside, but here's the interview with Vinny.
How's it going, guys? Good to be here.
Hey, man. Well, it's been fun to watch your journey all the way back, you know, a year and a half now. But this is such a different chapter. Obviously, 100 Thieves, you guys were one unit for so long, going back to console and other games. Now, for the first time, a new kind of roster built together, and we've seen some growing pains, right? If you were being honest, but I want you to walk me through that, because as you guys find your identity, talk to me about losing a player like Terra, replacing it with a great player like Self, and then finding the new way you guys click in what showed off today.
Yeah, I mean, losing Terra was kind of tough for us, right? Because everyone knows Terra's such a great player. But when we went through all the trials, we wanted to keep our core just very similar. That's why the 4 of us returned. And then after weeks and weeks of trialing, people like Self and Winnie were just completely the best fit for us.
Awesome.
Yeah, and just following up on a similar question with that, I know Terra did a lot of the comms, right? And I don't want to, you know, keep saying the Terra thing because I have so many questions for you alone, and we'll get to those in a moment. But how does the comms work for the team now? Because I know your team very well. You guys are awesome players, good people, but you more so took a step back in terms of comms and banning. What does it look like now for you guys?
I mean, the banning, it's more of a team thing now. Like before, Terra just took control a lot of the times, and if he felt like it was what we needed, he banned it in the face. But now it's just more listening to remix and as a whole, just talking.
Yeah, that rubs me a bit the wrong way. I can't lie.
Before that, I'm sorry.
Terra as a player, I know he's insane. Like at the
just
game
like
in
comms
DPS,
in game too. What do the comms in game look like?
Oh, I mean, I'm always calm.
Yeah,
like, I don't want people to get the wrong idea that I just sit there.
I feel like I like 100 Thieves a bit
deep
more now that Terra's on here. They're more
role,
flexible. They feel like more of a team
like
than
I
just
I play main tank, right? So I call
hyper carry.
engages like Groot. I call when to swing on Venom. I call when I'm diving Cap. Same thing. It's just more, I'd say more split. Like TTK, he calls tempo.
Cool.
I call engages. Our backline calls if they want to rotate, if they're ult tracking, just all stuff like that. It's way more team oriented, I will say.
Which is crazy because it should have been that team orientated before.
In terms of
realistically,
domination, which has been a buzzword for you guys, I feel, because you hadn't won a domination.
A grudge against Terra's
today.
gameplay.
You were 0 and 3.
His style of gameplay at the very least.
Why do you feel like you were losing dominations previously, and what did you change coming into today?
I mean, honestly, I think we were just mostly losing to ourselves and just not trusting each other, and that kind of just bites us. Like, versus the Swamp game yesterday, if I truly feel like if we played our dive comp first dive, we could have won in the end instead of like the first round. It was just complete waste. Like we got stomped, right? But the next two were really close. and we just need to trust our instincts. Like take the dive mirror. We really want to do that, but we just didn't trust ourselves, and when I walked out on the comp, that was really bad.
Awesome. Hey, man. I mean, it's looking like you guys are starting to find yourselves more as a team for sure. I mean, listen, I had you guys at #1 over here, Group A, going into it. My predictions are
I'm
just
sorry
shaking
about
up a little bit.
predictions, everybody. I'm sorry about that.
Hey, no, you're
we're
good,
still
man.
learning.
Don't worry
We're
about
still
it.
learning.
No, but hey, it's what makes it fun, man. It's what makes it fun. But let me ask this, you know, looking at the groups, right? Obviously, Swamp's doing well, but like, who are the teams that have your respect? As you know, a lot of people had you guys as that 1 seed right now, but who's some of the teams that you guys kind of had circled or kind of looking forward to in the playoffs?
I mean, of course, Citadel and Swamp. Those are like the top 2 dogs, I'd say. Swamp, if you guys don't know, they're all like landing. They're all in a house, and I swear you do get a land buff when you're all together, right? Like that team has come a. They were good before, but they weren't like this. I'd say like right now they've reached like that next level. And maybe,
yeah, Swamp look insane. I can't lie. The land buff is real.
Chip, awesome. The question I have for you, Bud, is we've seen a lot of different triple backline comps. Obviously, if Mantis is in play, she's going to be on that line, right? So I want to take Mantis out of the composition. Can you give me a quick rundown as to what do you think is the best triple backline right now? Because we've seen so many different iterations.
Yeah, without Mantis? Without Mantis, I mean, you always want an Ultron in there. You always want an Ultron, Sue. It's like Ultron, Sue, Fox, Luna. Like, those are the 4, just all interchangeable, right? Because people have realized, like, Fox is a new character. She's really strong against dive compositions, right? She can literally just solo with her melee form. She could solo live a lot of dives and help her other 2 supports.
The self-hate Ultron duty?
I mean, he doesn't complain,
Ultron
but
duty
I know deep down he wants to just play Daredevil every single game, right?
Yeah, Ultron duty definitely feels a bit bad for the
Panther
players.
last year, Daredevil this year. Vinny, man, so fun to watch you and your flexibility grow. Obviously, man, I love vintage Vinny on the tree. It's always a good time. I know how much playtime you got on that the silent hero over there. But anyway, wishing you guys luck. Big matchup. Well, thanks for coming on, man. We appreciate you coming on in, and hopefully we see you team again here in the next interview.
Hey, thanks so much, guys. See you guys later.
That is Vinny, the tree. Always back to the one-trick tree, as he says. And
all right, I'm gonna go back to reviewing that game because, again, that second half by like Winnie especially was insane. But I mean, TCK was like bloody. TCK was also insane. Does he keep his charge here? Oh, he sniped him with the E. Wow, okay, so your E range is longer than your left click, so you E first, and then you maintain your charge on the E. Okay. And this is where Winnie goes back onto sup pool. Enemy is teleporting over. He hasn't upgraded anything yet. Is he gonna wait till his ult is basically ready before going for an upgrade? So he's got 2 right now. I'm pretty sure he went for Sword Ult and E. Yeah, Sword Ult E upgrade. I'd imagine it's Sword Ult at least. At the very least it was E, and I don't see what else it could have been. Unless maybe it was Sword right click. It looks like they won just off of... Wow, they just won off TCK's later. Sorry, I just want to watch it from not his POV, because that was a little bit of like a backline POV. Like, show me what TTK was looking at there. Hi out. Play a bit slow. Druidolt's good. He's just running up them now. He's got that pocketing he needs. He melts the Groot. Instant ult. And then the enemy team was so split they didn't have the shield health. Oh, that was such an insane ult. Alright. I'll probably speedrun to next tank pull ult and then I run 3 minutes of ads. So I don't need to think about pre-rolls until the next series. So we got a 4-minute break on the main broadcast right now, right? So we popped the tank pull ult. We're mainly playing double jumps, it looks like. No sword upgrade. Managed to get it with a nice right click. So everyone here has got the enhanced sup pull ult. And then that was just like enough to completely salvage the neutral. And when your team is already up this much tempo, simply having a sup pull, what was your third upgrade? Right click? Yeah, right click. Like gun or range right click. What's our next upgrade? Guns? Swords, interestingly enough. Really interesting sword early upgrade there. Cool. Alright, I'm gonna run edge. Oh, I can't run ads for a little bit. Okay. So I definitely can't get away with spamming the 1 minute ads for 20 minutes per, that's for sure. Alright, hopefully I can run ads in like the next minute or so. Just like you guys are just like missing out on a break, right? Yeah, that was really insane by Winnie, just that like whole sequence of events. Wait, so show me the lunar claps again. Did we just miss claps on our diving cap? 1 hit, 2, 3, miss. Really? Let's see. So he got grabbed by Angela, right? That's like the reason he ended up there in the first place. 1 clap hit, 2nd clap missed here. Yeah, that's really bad to be missing those claps. I don't know if his movement was weird, but with lunar claps you shouldn't be missing. 1 goes, wide, hits its mark. He got knocked up out of this one, misses its mark. And then he was LOS'd of that one. I don't think it was possible to hit that clap. I feel like missing that opening clap is really bad though. Onto Yusha. Like right here he needs to be clapped. Okay, so he gets that one. That one misses. Oh, I see. He's aiming around the mag bubble. So that's not a straight miss. So from Flame's perspective, he's like, I can't shoot directly at my target because TTK is going to block it with a mag shield, so I need to aim to the side, and it's a much harder shot to hit once you're aiming at the side, right? Although, this one I feel like should hit, but it doesn't. Yeah, he then misses. Oh, because you should dash to the side, and then he whiffs. Okay. So he only really whiffed 1. Oh, actually, I feel like he could have hit that as well, though. Yeah. Nah, he definitely missed a couple too many claps there, which is why Yusha went down. Which is really awkward, because if they had this pick on Melina with Yusha alive, like, I really do favor Sentinels here. But instead, Delon is just allowed to front to back whoever's, like, shooting them, and then just gets to dash in, like, basically unobstructed with that mag bubble. Kills everyone. Alright, I can run ads again. How long do I have on the broadcast? 30 seconds. I mean, they're just going to be talking for the start. I'm running 3 minutes, just so I don't think about pre-rolls for a while. You won't miss much, I promise. This teleport also pretty necessary, right? Like pretty clutch, I think. Or was it not? Yeah. I think they went off of this though, right? Oh no, it lets them stall out with their ultimates. That TP is like insanely clutch. Sen still went off it, I'm pretty sure. But with Amazing falling to Dental another? Oh, yeah, that was nice by Vinny as well. So send it down 2 by this point. And then they just like send it with the cap ult, right? Nice shots back from there. Yeah, it's just like the cap ult tempo resource, which is the reason they won there, right?
You need to stop that vehicle in its tracks.
Remember, our next series is whatchamacallit.
Ship, they go like
Um,
sometimes they lean on that, but other
TSM versus, yeah, we lost. The dive team versus the, I mean, I wouldn't call them a streamer team, but they definitely have a lot of, like, high-profile streamers amongst their pros. That's for sure. But, you know, by this point, Sentinels are doing pretty well. They just, like, got staggered out on this second point, I think, right? Oh, this was the double mag ult, right? Yeah, this was a little bit of a nice Magneto rock, I can't lie. Boom! Yeah. That was crazy by Dogman. This is all fine. Like, there's nothing wrong with any of this. The Ultron ult for space is good by 100 Thieves. Mirror's ult is pretty decent. The solo ult from Vinny and then over here is pretty shit, but yeah, it's just the fact that 100 Thieves had more ults to rotate around here. Flamay only got his ult up in the 5v6 and insta used it. The Emerald though, oh man, there's so much value. They can't walk, yeah. That's such a mid-lunar ult, I think. I bet you could have taken that space without it. Maybe. It might have been hard though. Like realistically, you want a hard walk. And then, what's the word? When the enemies like are about to kill you, that's when you sub ulti so no one can die. But it's a much harder thing to make happen. Even then, losing after this fight. No, they got second point. Sorry, they second out on third. That's right. Well, actually, unless they lose here. Oh my god, yeah, that's such an insane kill by TTK. Yeah, you should just got jumped by everybody. And then down there, only DPS Sentinels have a really hard time killing. Especially with TP coming out. Yeah. That's already like a pretty bad time loss. They could have pushed it so much for if they had that extra time. Well, the real issue with defense. Yeah, group mag ult as a combo, it really struggles into shield tanks. Hell's Heaven is the first map for our TSM versus... Yeah, we lost game. Really, really important map, actually. Seeing as to how dive favored it typically is, right? Delona instantly went down pick. This is why they win, I'm pretty sure. The damage amp... Oh, wait. Sorry. I need to see the damage amp to Ultron damage. Sen, I kind of vibe with this. Enemy team don't have much up. Let's combo. I mean, obviously they Lunar ulted for the Gortrox, but then we just hold damage on the Ultron ulti and shred their health bars. Strange art was good, but the range was just slightly not in favor of hitting the enemy team, especially with how many resources they have. Dodging it. But what's important there is 100 Thieves managed to stall them to overtime. Combined. Right? Between first point and second point. That's all that matters here. So like going into third, Sen really only have like 1 or 2 fights. Did we put... Oh, I didn't even notice Raimazing on Iron Man here. What the fuck? So Raimazing just really likes Iron Man on this third point. That's what I'm hearing. That's why they swapped to it on defense. It wasn't only like a Hail Mary play. It was also a Iron Man is really good on this point play. Let me play Iron Man. We can win. Obviously, they lose first play just off of Ultron ult. Are we swapping off of Iron Man? Actually, not, right? Well, that's why I didn't fucking notice, because he swapped off practically instantly. But regardless, we're already in draft for our second series of the day. Yeah, we lost versus TSM.